Quarantine, that's a term designated for people that are verified sick. This is a house arrest mandated by the state.
You get that? Quarantine is what you do to sick people, not people with any sort of test to show that they were sick and they're fine now. That's what you do to sick people. That's not what you do to someone because they went to a Republican state because they got some Republican friends and family. That's called punishment. Okay? That's not a quarantine. That's house arrest. That's putting you under house arrest because you went to a Republican state. Understand that? You see how all this fits together?
Just stop calling it, social distancing. There's nothing social about forced isolation. We should stop saying safer at home when millions of Americans don't have basic necessities adequate to fit their needs. It assumes that everybody's home is equally as safe as the people that are making the statements.
This brother's nailing.
We should stop saying,
because social distancing is, so it's an inmate thing, right? You're keeping your slave, your commodities at a distance because you don't want them getting sick, perhaps, or you need to sell them a product because they're your livestock. Like, he's hitting it. He's nailing it right here. They are treating us like we are livestock and we are cattle. They don't care about us. They've never cared about us.
Americans don't have basic necessities adequate to.
Remember we talked about this is a privileged shutdown? This is a shutdown of people who complain, unfortunately, about white privilege, and they got shutdown privilege. They got houses, they got cars, they got jobs, they got money in the bank, they got food in the cupboard, and they don't give two damns about poor people, right? And both sides did it. Both sides are scared, so don't get me wrong, I'm not on anything. I'm just simply saying this is a privileged shutdown for privileged people who have houses, people who have jobs and savings and can shut down, and don't give two damns about homeless people or anybody else. They selfish, greedy bastards, and that's what we need to call them.
To fit their needs. It assumes that everybody's home is equally as safe as the people that are making the statements. We should stop saying, this is for the greater good, right? When you close the economy, killing millions of businesses that families have worked generations to establish, that's anything but good. We should stop saying this is the new normal. That's just blatant mind control drivel. There's nothing normal about forced isolation, treating your neighbor like they have the plague, breathing your own bodily waste, wearing masks, living in constant fear of contamination. That's normal. I mean, after all, if the virus is so deadly, why hasn't it wiped out the homeless who don't social distance, wash themselves regularly, let alone, live in or have access to a sterile environment? Last year, 1.5 million people died of tuberculosis. Why were you not wearing a mask during the tuberculosis pandemic? You were endangering, public health and safety along with billions of other people around the globe. So why didn't you wear a mask? I'll tell you why.
No, I'm going to tell you why, because before you tell them why, I'm going to tell them why. I'm going to tell them why. This is my show, damn it. Because they don't give two damns. This is all a scam. It is a political scam. It has always been a political scam. Above that, it's a business scam. Above that, it's a banker scam. Above that, it's just all for human control and a psyop. All right? That's what it is. Now, I'm going to let you go ahead and tell them, brother, because I got your back. Now you tell us why. That's why I know why.
Because the mainstream media didn't tell you to wear a mask. Right? And so because though 1.5 million people died from tuberculosis, there was no tuberculosis pandemic any more than there's a coronavirus pandemic.
Virus.
What you're really participating in is a beta test for AI systems and facial recognition. See, these cameras work best when people are, distance apart. Now they're actually testing through machine learning how to recognize, a face that's partially covered.
Hang on, because I know I'm about to lose some people. They hear that and they're like, conspiracy! Vlad the Impaler. Okay? I had to mention that to somebody yesterday. Vlad the Impaler. Everything is about human control from the beginning of time. That's why they modified your scriptures. They destroyed God and became God. They changed the scriptures. They chose which scriptures to go in. They've always been trying to control you. That's why they created political parties. That's why they created black people and white people. All these fallacies they created was to control you. So the odds are the greatest event in the history of the human race since the known history that's occurring right now is not about human control is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You don't know nothing about history, philosophy, science, how things work, behavior. Everything is for human control. And the greatest way to control people is through quiet weapons for silent wars, is controlling them through databases and software, which is what they've been saying for the longest damn time. That is what's going on. It sounds crazy, but when you think about it from a principle perspective, everything is to control you. The world does not work on politics. It doesn't work on emotions. It doesn't work on races. It doesn't work on any little nonsense you came up with that you were told and indoctrinated from birth. It's always about power and money. That's it. And it ain't about money. It's about the power. The money is how you get the control of the dumb population, the naive, gullible people who think that they'll ever be free. They're just down enslaving their grandkids worse than what they were enslaved. It's always about power, power for control. This brother told you right here, it's not crazy. This is a man who understands what's going on.
It's also a way to easily determine who's compliant and who's not. Who does the propaganda work on and who it doesn't? Now get this, there's some ironies that are here, right? A society that kills millions of babies a year for convenience has shut itself down to prevent adults from dying.
There's sometimes in life where you just pick up on energy, and I have to say something. I'm not homosexual, not gay, ain't nothing about a man that I find sexy. Not me, it's not my thing. If it's your thing, that's how God made you. I'm good with that. Not at all. But this man is sexy as hell right now, and the energy that's coming out of his mind and his mouth, not his body. I'm not interested in his body that got the mustache and all that other stuff. I am not interested. I know he stink when he funky, when he sweats. But this is what we've been saying for the longest time. And I'm not sure who he is. I think he has a name because he seems like he's popular. But when mainstream starts saying things, and doctors and medical professionals and people are saying things that we've been saying for a long time, and finally it's becoming viral, the reality of what really is going on, oh my God, he just said, did you hear what he said? What I say every day. Do I say it every day? I think I say it 20 times every day. We drop buildings on babies. End of discussion. That's it. You ain't gotta say nothing else. That's it. You know what you're supposed to do now. No, you can't have the old normal. Yeah, that's psychopathic, dirty and foul, dark energy, satanic. We drop buildings on babies. Nobody is concerned with your sniffles. Okay? Nobody's trying to help you. Nobody's trying to heal you. Nobody's trying to cure you. We literally kill the most cutest, fun, cuddly little thing who got doo-doo that smelled like just sweet, just sugar. Okay? Sugar. Who is that? Is that Jasmine? Jasmine, to tell you, she got a baby. She got a baby right now, young baby. I bet you ain't feed that baby chicken yet, did you? You ain't feed that baby at no okra yet, did you? No. Guess what? You sniff that baby poo. Smell like sugar. Sugar. Something wrong with babies. They little demons, little psychopathic aliens. You're not supposed to have doo-doo smell like sugar. That's the thing that drove me crazy. Why you think I got this? Why you think I put this thing? I still got this monkey, rhinoceros, whatever cup thing that my son just made for me because they had boo-boo that smell like sugar. That's inhuman. Doo-doo smell like doo-doo. And the people that run your world, the people you pay taxes to, the people you work for, the people you buy for, the people who do all the consenting things that we talk about, the people that you can't wait to vote for, your political parties, drop buildings on these things, the cutest things. And that's why, while I joke, at the same time, I laugh about the ridiculousness of it, that y'all gonna burn in hell every last one of you. And I'm gonna be with you too if we don't change this. We all gonna be down there together. Hey man, you got some cold? Yeah, you got the warm colds. I got the warm cold. You got the hot cold. We all gonna go to hell. You don't consent to people like that, y'all. You don't do that. I done did it my whole life. You don't. They're not trying to cure you. They're not trying to cure you. Dark creature, deep energy, archon, velociraptor, dark energy creature, evil, foul things with bifurcated tails, horns, and blood coming out their mouths with some fangs are not there to help you. They're not worried if you got the sniffles. They're not worried if you got some snot. Snot is a good thing. These people are not. Okay, snot is just an immune response because you got some on you that usually these people actually put and sprayed out some airplanes and put on your food. All right, that's what it is. These people don't care about you. See Lori right there, Lori Root Riley? That woman cares about you. That is a medical professional who is turning her on her industry. The people who run things, who drop buildings on babies, don't need your support. They don't need your money. They need you to love them enough to turn on them and walk the hell away.
People that on the one hand slaughter babies in the womb by the millions are now preaching to the masses about the sanctity of human life. It's double speak, double talk. It's the two doctrine policy. One for the initiated, one for the uninitiated. One for the inner circle, another for the masses. It's like saying, if I violate the stay-at-home order, I can be arrested, but you're letting convicted criminals out of prison so they don't get coronavirus. Thesis. Anti.
All right, so I'm sorry. I didn't watch the whole video. I got to make an apology. I told you the brother only said one thing wrong. No, the brother said two things wrong. But he's on it, though. He's on it. 98% of this is on point. Ain't nobody in prison a criminal. Nobody in prison is a criminal. Every abuser abuses, for the most part. All abusers were abused. The behavioral scientists and the neuroscience scientists told human beings are not capable of hurting each other unless for money. All right. The people who run this system are the people who built the prisons, are the people who wrote the laws and put the police on the street. These are the abusers. Ain't nobody in prison supposed to be in prison. I'm not saying let them out. I agree with Dr. James Fallon. Some people just been abused for so long with a GDP that you can't ever let them out. But you can have empathy and say, you know what? I do understand that all abusers are abused, but you should not be in there behind no bars. So I disagree with what he said, but he's figuring it out, though. He's figuring it out. And he's telling you a lot of what is very true. No, shouldn't nobody be in no damn prison. And damn sure not no children. Do you need to protect the population from dangerous people? Yes, you do. Which is why the people who manufacture dangerous people, who write laws that create artificial scarcity, that create the environments that create abusers, those are the dangerous people you need to protect the population from, not people you need to let out of prison. They all need to be let out of prison.
Thesis. Synthesis. If there's a real pandemic, does it require, faulty virus models, rigged test results, 81% false positives, inaccurate news reporting, staged hospital overruns, manipulated death certificates? Nope.
Nope. What did he just say?
When the government...
He said what we said last week. If there's crocodiles running out in the street, do you think you need to have advertisements and commercials and new sayings and new normals and social distancing and all these advertisements? Do you need to do that and shame people in the grocery store and teach people to be stupid, to abuse each other and call the popo and contact trash and apps for alligators in the street? No. We talked about that. Alligators don't care about you. Your life don't matter. You matter because you're nutritious. We talked about that with the alligator video. The alligator eat white people, cops, black people, everybody all the same. They don't give two damns. If it's alligators loose in the street, you do not need to advertise to the human race they need to stay indoors. They're going to stay inside. If it's a virus outside killing people, it's a pandemic, it's cancer, they stay inside. Ooh, good example, like crack cocaine. We'll talk about the new modern meth. All right, people with meth outside, you need to tell people it's people with meth outside. There's crackheads out there scratching their necks and people with their teeth falling out and all that stuff. You think you need to tell anybody there's people outside being abused by the United States government, which is why they went to Afghanistan to grow all that opium and use the soldiers to do it, which is a treasonous, psychopathic project that they got going? Do you think that you need to tell people that? Hell no, they're going to stay inside. If it's a real pandemic, you don't have to tell people that. You only tell people that if you're lying.
Shuts down millions of small businesses, but doesn't lay off any government employees. It's not about the health. When the state bans dentists from practicing, but deems it necessary for abortion clinics to stay open, it's not about your health.
Politics.
When the state prevents you from buying seeds for your garden, but allows you to purchase lottery tickets, it's not about your health.
Not about your health. When your state says that black people don't need masks because there's something special about a virus, so they write a law which is basically the reverse of the black codes, call it white codes, so white folk can't go out the house with a mask, but black people can go out the house to protest if they got brown skin, and you don't even have a qualification for that. At least back then when they wrote the black codes, they had a card. They had this card that was black, and they would show you if you're darker than this card, then you fall within this law. And they need to have a card now, right? So you can know exactly how systematically racist your country actually is. It is literally a product. It is a portion of the model. As long as you got capital and a group-based conflict system, you will have group conflict, which means racism is only a tool. It's not anything you need to fight. I can't believe Ty told me something the other Ty sent me a message and said, we won, we beat racism. We beat racism because, oh, I got shit, I'm gonna show you. I said, because I said, Ty, I said, I've never used a Negro con. Y'all see the Negro cons? Y'all, everybody get Negro cons? I tell you what, racism. I'm not sure. I said, Ty, I don't know if it was just you or just me. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up for you. But Facebook or Droid, I don't know who controls these icons. Let me see if I can get it to do it. They gave me yesterday, they took away all my yellow people icons. And they gave me Negro cons. They got, what they call them, Africans, Afro-Promoticons or something. I don't think it's Facebook. It must, oh, you know what? They're not gonna let me show it. Yeah, they're not gonna let me. I don't know why. Let me see. Cause all my, like all your thumbs up and this, that, and all that stuff is all black now. I'm not sure if it was racist when they made them all yellow, or if it was racist because there ain't nobody yellow. I see the orange person. I ain't never seen no yellow people. Or if it was racist when they used the demographics on my profile to determine that I got some Afro something in me to where now all of my icons, they all got blackness. they all got that stuff the Bank of England made. It's just, I'm like, y'all, I don't even get it.
An institution that, has the ability to destroy
Politics.
all of Earth through, alleged nuclear warfare should.
No, stop, brother. Okay, now that's the third thing wrong. Not nuclear warfare. They're done with nukes. Okay, nukes are old technology. They're so far beyond that. DARPA done told you that. They have things where they can wipe out the whole world. Anyone using physical guns, that's not a war. That's literally a disagreement over business. All right, wars aren't fought with guns anymore. They're not fought with tanks or nuclear weapons or bombs. But the people do have that global power. They can shut down the whole world and do anything they want to do, which is why we need to fight as a human race. When you are fighting global powers that have power over the entire human race, you don't need to be fighting black people and don't need to be fighting white people. They obviously don't have any power globally. That's where the human race has to say enough is enough. But yeah, wars are not fought any longer with guns. They're fought with advertisement. They're fought with bank accounts. They're fought in those ways. Usually a war is just some poor people in a country they need to steal resources, just saying, no, we're not going to do what Americans are doing.
Should not regulate personal self-defense. An institution that's caught trafficking drugs shouldn't be able to regulate plants.
See, now you contradict yourself. I love you to death, brother, man, fight the power, the struggle is real. But you just said that the criminals shouldn't be let out, but now you're saying that people should be allowed to grow their own plant. But, but this is what we all do. We all do that because this is a matrix, and they got everybody so misconstrued and screwed up to where we're saying things and we're not even thinking about what we're saying too. But this brother's nailing it. But no, nobody should be in no damn prison, because if the government has a right to do all of this, and all the governments do it, then obviously it's not the government that's doing it. Somebody is telling them in multiple nations exactly what they're going to do, when they're going to do it, and when they're going to stop doing it, and who they're going to do it to. And you will only take that on as a human race. You will not take that on as a movement.
An institution that's racked up $23 trillion prior to coronavirus in debt shouldn't be allowed to manage the retirement fund. An institution that was caught spreading STDs should not be allowed to run healthcare.
I didn't watch the end of this. I'm gonna watch the whole thing. We're almost there. But he's right. Like an organization that was caught depopulating people by sterilizing people in Africa and Latin America should not be allowed to touch a vaccine, should not be allowed to touch any mandated medicine. Industries and the people who are part of that should not even be allowed to even be on the microphone. They shouldn't be in prisons, but they damn sure should be in straitjackets somewhere, not on television, telling you how they're going to help you.
If people are really concerned about public health and safety, in general, but, they don't care if people, eat garbage, drink poison, smoke cancer, and take prescription drugs, but think that toilet paper, hand sanitizer, and masks are going to protect them from the boogeyman coronavirus. This is a special kind of stupid.
A special kind of stupid, like someone who goes to a sick doctor for health care, someone who goes to a health industry that never talks about health, someone who who knows that the doctors and scientists are beholden to corporations that only think about profit but beg them for a cure. This man is hitting it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
That I can't address here. You should ask yourself a couple basic questions.
Basic.
When did you consent from, you creating a government to serve you to you serving the government ruling over you? If you want to know, who's in charge, just think about who you can and can't criticize.
That's it. You want to know who's in charge? Think about who silences you, who censors you. You want to know who's telling the truth? Think about who's not allowed to say anything. You want to know what's important to watch? Is anything that you're not allowed to post on Facebook or YouTube or whatever else. You know a new thing that I just found out I'm telling y'all about? Watch parties. You want to know, you ever watch a conspiracy video on Facebook and you want to know if it actually is true? Just try to do a watch party on it. Anybody else noticing this? I'm noticing it. Maybe it's because I have a little bit of a following, but anytime I like, oh my gosh, that's real, and it links up with this, that, and the other, and this is probably important. Watch party, and I hit the button, and I'm the only one watching. Have y'all seen that? That's how you know it's true. That's exactly. Who you cannot criticize is what you need to study. That's how you need to study. When you post something, you go to Facebook jail, then you go to YouTube, go on the internet, go somewhere else, go to the law, go anywhere else and read anything you can on that topic, because that's how you know it's true. The people who run things are the ones you cannot criticize, and the people who are in control, who are profiting, are the ones in the depression who got stores on every damn corner. All right, you see what I'm saying? This man was on it. He was on except for 3 points I disagreed with. Short of that, he is 97% on it. Common sense, critical thought, using principles determined. Do people who poison you care about your health? That's all you got to do. Ask yourself that. All right, read some comments. I gotta get out of here. I never get to connect with any watch parties. Yeah, Barbara. Well, you know what? The problem is we're all in like such different time zones and different slaveries and everything. You can watch them later, but I like watch parties because it means that you can bring a bunch of people into a conversation like this without being a big mouth like me. Willing to come out here and get cussed out and have all kind of inboxes and penicles and vaginacles and all of that stuff people like to send you to mess with you. Viruses and things you ain't supposed to click on. I get all of that stuff, but you can do watch parties. You don't have to worry about that. Everybody should be doing watch parties. It's a great way to pull people together. You watch something that looks like it's significant, and then you can bring a bunch of your friends in to watch it too. So that way you don't have to do this, right? You can just bring your friends in that still trust corporations and systems that we can't trust. You can never trust a system. You can't trust a system. You can't trust a system. Being a systems engineer, if the system is designed for power and money, all it will ever be beholden to is power and money. If you want a free human race, if you want freedom, we don't need to focus on slavery from 300 years ago. We got slavery right now. And the only way we can focus on slavery right now is if we accept that we are slaves. All right, did I get reported on that one? I see dropping off. I see Facebook slowing down. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, I thought I got reported. That's okay. You're supposed, if you say things and people don't report you, then you're not saying nothing. If you say things and everybody's agreeing with you, then you might as well be on TV. You need to say things that people disagree with. I think I got silenced for a minute. I don't know what happened. But if you say things and you're not being censored, if you're posting things, you're not being censored, then you're not actually fighting the system. The system is okay with you. You need a system that's based in gross domestic happiness, gross domestic human, a system based in freedom. But as long as you got a system based in power and money, and you got two political parties that worship power and money, you ain't never gonna be free. The only thing that's gonna thrive is those with power and money. Principle. That's why I like what that man just said, because he's thinking about things from a principality's perspective, and that's how you fight things you can't see. The transparency is slimy. Yes, it is, Jeannie. You're more enslaved than the rest of us that know we are slaves. And this is true, John. I'm not sure who you're replying to, but if you think that you're free, I don't know what to say. We are free in our minds. We're free between our ears. We are free the way the Tibetan monks knew they were free in Tibet, where you can live free. Slavery is a choice. And when anyone significantly stops choosing enslavement, they just murder them. All right. Buffering time to bail. Everybody have a beautiful day. It's buffering. Okay. Well, I knew they were going to do that. That's kind of how that goes. Or it's just the internet. I don't know. Who knows what it is. But our goal has to constantly be focused on freeing the human race, making sure that the children who come behind us are a little freer than what we are, making sure that we leave the Garden of Eden more Edenish than how we found it. Right? Start restoring things back to the way they're supposed to be. Understanding that life is a spell, and there's always some sorcerers trying to control us and control it. Understanding that people who ain't never cured you ain't never going to cure you. They're obviously up to something else. And DNA is patented, and you taking in that DNA legally is going to create a little bit of a curveball for you and your children. If a corporation owns you, legally they can do anything they want to you the same way they can do with them crops. They can make them burn them crops in the field, and if they own that technology, they own the patent on it, and you have a baby and that baby's full of that DNA, that's that technology, you're going to have an issue with a corporation. Real talk. I got to get going on this, Gerard. You got to let go of the prisoners. Exact opposite of what that other brother said. See everyone happy because you would be those prisoners if you were born those prisoners. Everybody says it's buffering and it's frozen over there. Well, that's it. I'm going to get going. Let me see. On your last comment, I don't know if you are being nice or mean to me, but I love you either way. Who's that? Jonathan shows. We'll end on that because that's it. Looks like it's buffering for everybody. And Jonathan, that's how I know you fit right in the family, brother. That's it. You want people to disagree with you. I disagree with people all the time. People who disagree with you love you. And as long as you are grown and mature enough to say, you know what, we don't have to agree. I just love the fact that you're engaging with me. I love the fact that you see me. A system sees me as invisible. The system sees me as a commodity, and it will lie to me and burn me up as it needs to because I'm a commodity to it, not a slave. So that's how you get down. You got to love people. Disagree with them, but love them. Disagree, love, disagree, love, disagree, love. All right, I got to go. Monkeys, y'all have a great day. 98% Yam Source.